Hey guys, it's Marissa here, and today I'm going to be making a felt puppet. So this is going to be a tutorial so that you can follow along and that you can make one so that you can make your own felt puppet at home. So here I have my supplies laid up. I'm using my pencil to talk. Okay, so I have a pencil, I have scissors, and I have thread and a needle and one pin because we'll need it later. So got my thread. I have a piece of construction paper, but you could use any paper that you have. And then I have 3 colors of felt. So we will need, for this exact puppet, we will need red, white, and black. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm just going to use my pencil, and I will kind of measure with my 2 fingers because I've made like 4 already, and I've kind of just found that this is a good way to do it. So the top of the puppet is going to be pointed, like kind of like the tip of my pencil. So I'm going to go to the side because I want to make sure that I save some of my paper, because then it will be reusable. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Wow, I chose pencil and it is a little hard to see, but the thing about pencil is that you can erase it. Okay, so because this finger's shorter, I went longer on that side, so you can play with it a little bit and see what's best. Once I show you the shape, I think it's going to make more sense, but for right now, I'm just going to kind of fill this in, and I might just round the top a tiny bit. These monsters I found a picture of them online, and I fell in love with them, and I said to myself, you will be mine. I really like the movie Monsters. Is it Monsters, Inc.? No, not Monsters, Inc. What is this? There's a movie about monsters, and I thought it was really cute that the monsters were like, we're just misunderstood. So I think that's why I wanted to make a little puppet show of them. Okay, so here's the thing, is because we're all making them, they get to be like imperfect, and that's gonna be our template, and we're just gonna embrace it. Whatever shape that you have, the thing is it's a monster, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So the monster is red. Its body is going to be red. So here is when my pin comes in. I'm going to grab my little pin from here. It has like a little flat head. I have stabbed myself many a times making these little puppets, because I need to be more careful with needles. So this might be a part that if you are younger, I would suggest that you ask somebody for help. So now I have pinned it in place. I'll just show you like this so that I can cut it. I tried holding and cutting it, and I'm not a surgeon, so my hands moved. So sometimes one side was different than the other. So you live and you learn. Okay, here we go. So I'm cutting it out, and then here we go. Perfect. It doesn't have to be exact. Maybe it should, but I find this felt is a little bit hard. So what I actually am going to do is I'm going to take both and repin them in, just because I think that it gives me a little bit more of an identical shape if I have both there, because then if I cut too much on one side, then the other side already looks identical. So I just pinned both. You can see I pinned both to the felt fabric. So sometimes I think about what their names are going to be like for the puppet show, but I haven't had any really amazing ideas yet, but I am very excited. Okay, so, and if you make a mistake, just recut it out with the felt. You can always use the piece that didn't turn out for like the details of the face of the monster. Okay, so that is our body right there. Here we go. We already have it. Mine are slightly tilted. Do I want to fix it? You know what? I'm going to go more like this. Oh yeah, I like that better. So I just made it so that it's more pointy at the top because I think that's more similar to what I was going for. Okay, so now we move away from the body, and before we can sew the body together, I want to do the face of the monster, and then we have to sew it on. I've tried gluing and it doesn't really work that well, but if you want to, you can totally glue the pieces onto the face. It's going to be more durable because we're going to have it like on our finger and we're going to be moving it around. So I just think it's going to last longer and maybe be able to make a return appearance in another show. So I am going to work on the face now. So it has one eye right in the middle, and it has like a unibrow over top, and then it has like a big mouth with teeth. So that's what we're going for. So I am going to be cutting out like a small circle for the eye, and I'm going to be cutting out a larger circle for the mouth, and then I'm going to do the unibrow last. So I'm gonna kind of just use my little thread. Let me move this out of the way. It's going to help me save the paper. So I'm just gonna trace this circle. Oops. Okay, so I think that is way too big for the eye, and the mouth is actually not so circular, but this is going to be good because it's going to help me with figuring out this circularness, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to make this smaller by cutting more away. You'll be able to tell a good size for it when you hold it up to the felt. So right now, if we did that, I think it would just be mostly eyes on the monster. So we're gonna make it smaller. Okay, I think that is good. That is a good size, I think. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put it onto the, oops, eyes are not red. We're going to do white. Because like if you look at your eye, it's white on the outside, and then there's obviously like a color. It's either brown, green, blue, and the black. Just gonna hold it like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut around the eye, and like as you can see, my eye is not, this eye that I'm making is not perfectly circular. but it will be charming and it will be something that I made, so I'm going to be really proud of it. And you should be proud of whatever it is that you make, because yeah, making stuff is fun. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. So now we need the little black part. So I'm actually going to I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it smaller. I'm going to go smaller this time. Try and keep my little workspace a little bit cleaner. Sorry, I'm going to move it over to the side so that maybe I can use that black part for the unibrow. So, but this time, instead of using it as like a perfect template, I'm gonna go tighter. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So it just helped me to give me a good circle, because I don't know why I struggle with circles. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. It's going to be like that. And then I would put it onto the face like this. See, it's all coming together. Maybe more in the middle. So that's the eye. And then I'm just going to make like a thin strip like this. Okay? This is going to be the unibrow, which it is too big. Maybe I can lower the eye a little bit. It's a good idea. So if I lower the eye, then it makes more space at the top of his face for me to... You want to be careful. If you're doing this, I'm being very careful with the needle. I am holding it like this so that I do not poke myself. Okay, so I think that that's not quite the look I was going for. This is the time to like fiddle with it, and you can always redo a part of the face if you're not confident with it. I think that the unibrow is a little bit thick. So I'm just going to cut it. Perfect. Here we go. Oh yeah. Might just take off like a little tiny bit of the end. Oh yeah, there we go. How cute is he? Now, you could either sew this and then do the mouth. I'm just gonna do all my cutting all at once and then all my sewing all at once, just because then I can kind of have some fluidity to it. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go kind of like for a circle. Maybe I'll match the circle next to me, and I want kind of like I don't know, what's a good shape? It really does just look like an oval. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out this oval. Ooh, careful. I'm gonna cut it out, and then I'm gonna kind of fiddle with it a little bit, because yeah, that's just the way I like to work. I like to like start with something and then work on it a little bit more until I feel like it looks good. So as soon as you have the shape, I would put it straight onto the monster's face, and then you can tell, okay, but is this going to work, or do I need to make it smaller? Okay, so if we did that, I think that the mouth would be way too big compared to the eye. So the shape is good. We just need to make it smaller. So we're just gonna go around the outside of it and make it smaller. Okay, I think that is a good shape. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to cut this out in black. I'm going to just hold it because my pin is holding the eye. And you could just find felt at craft stores. You could order the felt online. You can find it at Walmart, Target. There's lots of places where you can find felt. And I bought a pack that came with lots of different colors. And then I just get to be creative with different things. So I did make some little vegetable puppets. So maybe I will have to show you guys how I did that. Cool. Looks good. And then now we're going to actually do the teeth. And the teeth are going to be white. And I think that what would work well is if I cut out kind of an identical size in the white. Because, like, have you ever cut like a broken heart and you like go in and you cut it in a zigzag pattern so that when you take the hearts apart they like look like broken, but when you put them together they fit? That's kind of what we want to do with the teeth, is that we want the bottom and the top to be like zigzagged, but then when they come together they like meet together. So we have to start with kind of like a circle so that it works. So again, I'm just going around and I am gonna make the white circle, and then I am gonna do the top. So I'm a little bit nervous, but it's gonna work. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna do like gonna work. Taking out the sides. Oops. A little bit nervous, but it's okay. Here's the thing, we can always redo it. So okay, alrighty, I think that worked. Okay, okay, let's see. This would potentially be the top of the mouth, top teeth. I think it worked. And then this would be the bottom, and I want to make it a little bit smaller. Like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna do hopefully I'm showing you well. Cool. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so let's get sewing. So again, we have to put all of the facial features onto the face, and then we sew the front and the back together. So I actually have some thread already thread through my needle, and I'm just going to make a knot. I'm not a professional sewer, so you might have to watch someone else for learning all of the sewing techniques, but I'm just going to make a knot at the bottom of my thread. These are my fine motor skills in action. Okay, so there we go. Just double knotted it, and then I am going to do the eye. So just going to make sure that the eye is in the center. I'm going to leave the pin in for right now, and I'm going to go in, through, and back out. Just going to do one like that to anchor it, and then what I do is I don't go all the way through. I like pick it through so that it doesn't show up. So I'm actually going to remove the pin now that I did one stitch to hold it, and I'm going to oops. Cool. So I just went through it like that, and then I'm going to go through to the other side. It's also really cool to teach somebody things that you learn. So once you learn how to do this, you'll have to show somebody else, because that is part of the fun, is teaching and learning. Once you've learned something, you can teach it to somebody else. Okay, I'm almost there. And then I'm just going to cut this thread. And we're finished. We did it. Oh my goodness, I love him. How cute is he? So I hope that you have enjoyed making this little puppet with me today, and I hope that you make one yourself, and then I hope that you send your puppet a photo of your puppet to us, and let us know how you liked this. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.